All right, everybody, this is the Baseball Hut, the amazing, spectacular, terrific, the great one, the people's champion, your host, the Hut, and welcome back to the Baseball Hut 3. Hopefully you like this video. And hit that subscribe button. In this video, we're going to talk about a sports columnist who covered the media, the sports media, and he's retiring. Now, I'm going to say, and I don't write any sports columns, but we'll do them here. We'll do video columns on the clowns in the sports media. And I will not do it so, the facts. There's no facts here, man. This is entertainment. That's what I'm here to provide to you. I'm talking about WFAN and everybody. Since he's leaving, maybe I'll just cover all of New York sports here. Might as well. Hasn't really been covered on a regular basis really in a long time. And we had all kinds of columnists here. We had Neil Best, who's retiring now. We had Bob Raceman, Phil Mushnick. It was still around. Mushnick's still around, but he's a nasty guy. And he's not entertaining or funny. He's just a nasty SOB. But here we have Barra Media, which is a website I came across. This is really good. It covers a lot of stuff in the radio business, really. Headline, Neil Best retires from covering sports media at Newsday. In his farewell column, Best emphasized that the decision to step away was entirely his. Neil Best is stepping away, closing the book on a sports media career that spanned nearly half a century and represented a level of continuity that has largely disappeared from American journalism. The longtime Newsday sports media columnist announced his retirement Sunday, ending more than 2 decades on a beat he helped define. Best leaves behind one of the few remaining full-time sports media columnist roles at a major metropolitan newspaper. Really, I mean, the number one guy was Bob Raceman. He was the number one guy for a long time. I guess he kind of retired. Kind of just sort of faded away. He was doing content. He was on SNY for a long time. But he sort of disappeared. Has anybody heard from him? Is he still doing column? I don't even know. Who the hell reads the papers anymore? Best leaves behind one of the few remaining full-time sports media columnist roles at a major metropolitan newspaper. A position that survived industry-wide layoffs, shifting business models, and fundamental changes in how sports content is produced and consumed. During his tenure, Best covered the transition from print-first journalism to a digital, social-driven ecosystem. That ecosystem word, I've seen that word so many times. That's you know what that is, folks. That word ecosystem. That is a mainstream media bullshit word. It really is. So you see the language going into this platform is not good. He chronicled the explosion of sports talk radio, the rise of national debate television, and the emergence of social media as both a reporting tool and a news-breaking platform. He did not cover WFAN mostly in the beginning. As far as I remember, it was all Bob Raceman. Bob Raceman was the guy that really is the groundbreaking guy. Through it all, Best maintained a measured, reporting-first approach that distinguished his work in a landscape increasingly driven by opinion and immediacy. A little dry, just the facts. Like I said, Bob Raceman was a guy he's the one that gave Chris Russo the Mad Dog nickname. In his farewell column, Best emphasized that the decision to step away was entirely his. In Newsday reader since August of '72, he wrote, "It's okay, it was my decision, time for someone else to have a turn. That someone will be Anthony Reber." Oh boy. Becomes just the fourth person to hold the sports media beat 48 years. Stan Isaacs and Steve Zippy preceded Best, making it one of the most stable assignments in sports journalism, despite the volatility elsewhere in the industry. Well, they're not going to be nearly as entertaining as your host has, but Best's final column read like a greatest hits tour of a career few writers get to experience. But what has it been like writing about sports for a living for the better part of half a century, he asked. Answered himself, "It's been good." He recalled interviewing everyone from the San Diego Chicken and Philly Fanatic with his head off, to Willie Mays, who famously admitted he hated fishing. Best wrote about conversation with Ice Cube on the Raiders Adam Sandler on Mike Francesa, Jerry Seinfeld on WFAN, and Billie Jean King and Dick Vitale, who greeted him with hugs. His reporting took him from youth track meets in Barrow, Alaska, to high school gyms in the Bronx, and into the homes of figures such as Michael Strahan, Tiki Barber, Phil Simms, and Francesa. He covered generations of athletes, noting interviews with Nat Holman, who, born in 1896, and Matthew Schaefer, born in 2007. Best also reflected on the unique perspective of the job. You're an insider, but an outsider. Let me tell you something. I want to be an outsider always. He wrote, recalling walks to the old Yankee Stadium tunnel past the Joe DiMaggio sign, Derek Jeter tapped before games. I wonder if Derek had like a sign that was over his bed before he would bring in these women every night when he was skulking around the clubs in New York at night. Yes, quote, yes, it was cool to follow Jeter down that path. Yes, I was wholly undeserving, but I always appreciated the privilege. And an era when sports media columnist positions have been eliminated or diluted, Best's career stands as an exception. He spent nearly 50 years at one newspaper, covering a beat that barely exists anymore. As he signed off, Best kept the moment characteristically understated. Anyway, that's that. Thanks for reading. Jesus. That's the story. I mean, really, I never really thought that he was, I don't want to say I'd be mean. I'm not going to be mean on a guy that's retiring, but I don't know. He probably maybe got bored with it. Who knows? Covering something for 50 years. But you know what's fun about covering sports media is anything goes, anything can happen with them. And if you cover a lot of the radio, boy, radio is very volatile. It's always been volatile. And there's always drama around radio. But that's what we'll do here. We will be the New York sports person that covers everything here. I'm in New York, got the accent, got the sense of humor, and I will cover it here at the Baseball Hut 3. And of course, this channel is getting close to 500 subscribers. Unbelievable. So you need to hit that subscribe button. I will tell you like it is, whether I like it, whether it's good for me or not. I'll tell you like it is. Tell it like it is. And you hit that subscribe button. We're going to talk a lot about what's going on. Monday is a big day here on the channel, because WFAN is going to roll out their new programs. We got Uneven Evan Roberts with his husband Tiki. And then we have the icon, emphasis on the con, Craig Carton with his new partner, a.k.a. the Psycho Killer, Chris McMonagle. And can't forget about the Spud, going to be working with Uneven and his husband, Sean Marash, and they'll be on. And then, of course, Tommy Lugauer will be on in the evening. And, of course, Norman and Gregory on in the morning. And it's going to be very exciting here at the channel. So you want to hit that subscribe button. I'll cover everything that's going on there. And everything here and there with the media. But Monday is going to be a huge day. So if you're a big WFAN fan. And it's funny. I had said a few days ago, that I'm going to take a hit and listen to them as much as I can for this show. And which I've not really listened to them much over the years on a regular basis. But now you're having to force me to do that. So you should all be grateful to your host that I'm willing to take the hit, because some of the shows on a daily basis are not winners. Maybe in the long term they will be, but daily radio programs can be a bit tedious at times. And we're getting into the middle of the winter time. Soon the Super Bowl is going to be over. We're going to be in the middle of February, and it's going to be rough. But I will do my best, and I'll cover everything now. Since Neil Best is leaving, we don't need this Anthony Reber. Just come here and subscribe, and we'll have a good time and a lot of fun at the expense of the media, and they deserve it, because they do torture fans of every team in this town and every team in general, quite frankly, with the crazy stuff they say. And I want to thank you for coming by. Of course, hit that subscribe button one more time. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.